The more proactive approach to banking, you can see just what's possible here. And the best part about this is that the mortgage is the most exciting part. So let's dive into that. You can see here on the loan calculator page, I've input the numbers from the original loan amount that they started with Ocwen way back in the day. This opened in May of 2006. This is an 11-year-old mortgage, and if we scroll down this amortization schedule here to today's date, you can see here that as of May, they will still have owed about $193,000 worth of this mortgage. I'm going to scroll ahead to the payoff time, which was 4 years from now of that non-mortgage and student loan debt, which will be May of 2021 here. And you'll see that they'll still owe $166,000 on this loan after they've made 181 payments on it. That's 15 years worth of payments. The even worse news behind this is if they continue over the next 15 years, the total interest cost that they'll have spent on this loan is almost $230,000 worth of interest. You can see $228,700. Absolutely absurd. There's no reason that anybody should target this as an objective just because the interest rates are record low. Instead, you can continue to invest while simultaneously preventing as much of this interest as possible. So I'm going to take what we call an MLS calculation. And in their case, because 4 years from now, we won't know exactly what the best MLS is to use, the MLS is an acronym for maximum lump sum. We talk about this in some of our flagship trainings. The maximum lump sum is the maximum amount that we can borrow from these debt weapons, like we've been doing, in order to protect their credit safely and apply that towards these debts and turn the banks against each other. And watch what happens. If I were to just use a placeholder here of 5 months times cash flow, so 5 months times cash flow being the MLS, that total would be a little over $21,000. 5 months times cash flow, in this case, a little over $21,000. In 4 years, we might use a 3-month multiplier or a 10-month multiplier. It depends on the debt weapon and it depends on their cash flow at this stage. If they've purchased other properties, we might be going a completely different direction and paying off a different property by this time. So this is where the fortune telling can become challenging. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to apply $21,125 lump sum payment starting May 1st of 2021, 4 years from now, after all of their non-mortgage related balances have been paid in full. So we're going to apply a $21,125 amount, and we're going to get that from this debt weapon. Same one that we've been using or a different one, depending on which is best serving our purpose at this time. Might be the same. We've got this $21,000 lump sum, and here's what I want you to take note of. $21,000 lump sum amount from another bank where we're turning the banks against each other will prevent a $21,000 interest cost over that period of time. Coincidental that those numbers match up. That's just where it is in this amortization, 181 payments in. The cool news about this, beyond that $21,000 savings, is that they get to repeat this process every 5 months. We've already done the math. We know that the cash flow, when used the right way, will have this paid back in just 5 months. Now, why are we not just using cash flow to apply it towards the mortgage? We get that question all the time. The answer is, where would they get the money to invest with? So what we're doing is we're replacing reserves, money they would have otherwise saved in checking and savings, but instead are using to pay off debt, with new debt weapons that they can borrow from to acquire the new asset. This allows us to accomplish the objective of asset growth and liability elimination simultaneously. That's the secret to debt weapons. So every 5 months, we're going to apply another $21,125. So we're going to go from payment 181 to 186, from 186 to 191, 191 to 196. Makes the math easy when we're doing it every 5 months, of course. And I think this will be our last one of 95.44. Oops. Okay, so now you can see the balance is zero here, right? Zero balance. Look at this. They're saving almost $60,000 off the price tag of this home. What house in your neighborhood right now would you walk past if you could get a $60,000 discount and it was of the quality it should be? If it was literally $60,000 less expensive than it should be, why would you pass that up? And yet we can accomplish that by financing our properties the right way and turning debt into wealth. So look at this. Not only have they saved $60,000, but look at the date. November 1st, 2023. It's almost May of 2017 right now. This is 6.5 years from now. And they will be 100% mortgage and non-mortgage related debt free. These lump sums will be paid back, this will be paid off, and this mortgage will be paid off. So take a look at their cash flow summary now. They got the same income coming into the household every single month, the same income, and yet without going on any strict budgets, the same expenses every month, we've bridged the gap between the net and the gross cash flow. 6.5 years, 100% debt free. Doesn't sound half bad, right? So as you know, your first step is obviously to take action. If you have not had an expert like us that can go through something like this in just a handful of minutes and prove that there's a much better way of doing things, then now's the time to do that. So go into the description, click the link. You can go through the quick start process. We're not going to ask you for any confidential information like account numbers or social security numbers. We just simply need generic information so we can determine what your approximate average conservative net cash flow position is at the end of each month. Go in and get your cash flow cruncher by visiting cashflowcruncher.com. That's cashflowcruncher.com. If you like these types of videos and you want to see more of them, make sure you smash that like button, share them with your community. Make sure that your loved ones are able to see this because, guys, we've been haunted with debt as a country, as a society for far too long. So if we want to change the social economics of this country, it's going to require all of us coming together and just really empowering ourselves with the knowledge we should have been given in school. Unfortunately, that's just not the way it works. So let's all go further, faster, financially together, and we're happy to play a role in that in your life. In the meantime, check out all of our other videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much for checking this one out.